Hello everyone, it's me Seagull, and today I'm going to have another unscripted video for you. So, for context, today is actually my birthday, or, the day I'll be uploading it, because I love sharing my birthday with Philippe Pétain. It truly is wonderful. As you get older, your birthdays just kind of become more lame, you get these fun birthday parties as a kid, and now you just sit in your room and you're like alone, and maybe you get a text from your friends or your parents. Other than that, not much. So, I decided to have some fun, and I made myself a little hear me out cake, because I've always wanted to do this trend. My hear me out cake may be like a little bit not unusual, but it may seem a bit basic, and I kind of disagree, because I think it can be anyone that's obscure, fits the definition of show them a picture of the person, and then you have to explain to them why you should hear me out, which can be anyone. Most of the people here are going to be human, because I'm not like a furry or anything. They are kind of justified, I guess. There are people that I've shown and I have to say, hear me out, and people are still just looking at me. So first off, you have seen the Seagull channel, you know who is coming up. Charles de Gaulle is just gonna go right in the center. Yeah, please just hear me out on him, okay? There's also gonna be a lot of overlap in the History Crush tier list. This is probably the most basic one, but we gotta start out basic. The sniper from Team Fortress 2. Yeah, he's the most conventionally attractive, but he's also rugged, and he most definitely smells. He pees in jars. Got yeah, Wellington, as I said in my video. He's tiny for some reason. I don't really like his personality, Who's I'm gonna go down the list of normal. Nikola Tesla is pretty normal. I feel like Nikola Tesla is one of those acceptable historical crushes to have. I mean, when I was a young one back in 2015, I would show my friends him in school and they would make fun of me. And I would have to say, you need to hear me out on him. So he should be on the hear me out cake by that definition. The guy from Lawrence of Arabia, Ali, everyone kind of looks at Lawrence, but I feel like Ali just kind of gets sidelined. Fictional, who's the normal one? The wizard from Stardew Valley. He's divorced and he lives alone, but listen. I like the Stardew Valley spouses, but I don't really consider them to be hear me out, since you can marry them in the game. They're designed to be marryable. So I just went with another NPC. You don't marry in the game. Now listen. I put young Walt Disney on here too, and the reason why I put him on is just, I explained why you should hear me out in my historical crushes video. I went on this tangent about him, but basically no, he was not a Nazi, no, he was not a white supremacist, no, he was not anti-Semitic. Now we can continue on with the video. Is Teddy Roosevelt a hear me out at this point? I feel like everyone likes him. I made this cake a while ago, which is why you have the old appearance of my next big hear me out, Salmonella, before the face reveal. I mean, he's so smart and knowledgeable. He seems like just someone you'd want to talk with and hang out with, even with the face reveal where he has the short hair and the beard. I kind of like him when he has the long hair. Well, I love his crossword puzzles too. I use the background music in this video and the tier list as stuff from the crossword puzzles. Who's next? Albert of Belgium. Not really talked a lot about in the historical crush community. I don't know if he's a hear me out, because people have agreed that he is attractive. Aggression. I don't really think he's I keep saying I don't really think he's a hear me out, and I put him on the list. I think he's a hear me out because he's just kind of obscure, all these Russian sources you don't know. Who's next? Oh yeah, can't forget the reason why my channel is as big as it is. Zesty Eisenhower. Eisenhower is not people's first thought when they think of an attractive president or an attractive World War II general. I mean, who is people's first thought when they think of... I know it's objectively Leclerc, but not everyone knows about Leclerc. I feel here, he just, the way he hits that pose, the way he poses, he just looks so happy, and he got me 820,000 views, so Let's do a fictional character. Oh yeah, the pain in the ass from Hugo. Okay, I actually love this character so much. It's the inspector. I think he's on here. This is like probably the most conventionally attractive man on the list, but I know the mustache is like a deal breaker for most people. He's also just a complete jerk. Like one of the first few scenes is just he captures an orphan and just puts him in a cell because he's walking around the train station. But Hugo is such a good movie. He does get a redemption arc. You should pause the video and go watch Hugo right now. Yeah, Alvin York. Kind of obscure, not a big figure in like the history crush community because I think he's not really well known outside of the US. So that's why I put him on here. Adrien Carton de Viart. Again, another person for the tier list. You know, he's not the first person you think of when you think of historical crush, especially because he's this like rugged guy and you know, he fought a lot and he went through war. So people's first thought when you see him is not, oh, he's hot. But mine was. So guess what? He's on the cake. And de Gaulle's the centerpiece. It's like my uncle's urn. So we're gonna do a YouTuber, JJ McCollough. He might see this video and it's scary because he's gonna be like, what am I doing on your hear me out cake? That's my best JJ impression. But another thing is that he is gay, so I don't have like a chance. I don't know what's the like ethical response to put him on my cake. But again, he's like salmonella. He's really smart and knowledgeable. And I'm putting him right next to de Gaulle because of course I am. Real ones know. There's like a space in between here. And you know, I'm gonna put Montgomery. Oh, he's like old and decrepit. That's what most people know him as. But look at him. Look at him. I feel like he's just kind of weird. Like most people just consider him weird. He's like very egotistical and stuff, but so is de Gaulle. And you gotta hear me out on de Gaulle. Where's other ones? Oh yeah. Since I'm going to Ireland, I gotta put him on young Eamon de Valera. This is gonna get me like kicked out of Ireland before I even go there. And listen. Yeah, he was not the best president of Ireland. But look at him. This is just one I'm putting on purely based on looks. Just hear me out on this person. You're like, oh, who's that? It's like, oh yeah, young Eamon de Valera. So he's on the hear me out cake. And the reason why Collins isn't is because, well, like, look at Michael Collins. Michael Collins is not a hear me out. You see Michael Collins and everyone instantly understands. What's another one? Leclerc. Classic Leclerc. You know, you gotta hear me out on Leclerc. If more people knew about Leclerc, they would always agree with me. I sound so egotistical right now, but they would all agree that he is the, like, hottest World War II general. I need to make a video about that, like, who is the hottest World War II general? And then it all leads back to Leclerc. In fact, no one's even talked about it because all the people that are well-read, they know that having a debate about the hottest World War II general is useless. Not because, you know, it's not academically sound, but because we already know the answer, and the answer is Leclerc. Speaking of World War II generals, MacArthur. I gotta put MacArthur on here. He's, like, controversial, too. I think he was also, like, really abusive. You definitely gotta say, hear me out on this one. Look at him. He just has that aura. Is he, like, compressed? Okay, that's better. He just has that aura about him. Oh yeah, Marlin from Stardew Valley. You see, the wizard is pretty popular, but not everyone is going after Marlin. Not everyone is like clamoring for like, oh, Concerned Ape, please let us marry Marlin. I would like to be friended, but also, you know, I'd like to just hang out. He's also just Adrien Carton de Viart, but old and in Stardew Valley. The crane from Kung Fu Panda. You see, I like birds. If I were to ever be a furry, like you probably know by my name, but I like the birds and the bird design so much better. I was like obsessed with him as a kid. So yeah, all you purists, you know, oh, we got the first non-human. Okay, you're acting like you wouldn't be absolutely repulsed if I showed you Charles de Gaulle and said, hear me out on him. Next, we got Anthony Eden. He's just a terrible prime minister. But one thing he is known is for his, like, fashion sense and for his drip. That one history confession is right where it's like, I wish Anthony Eden did, you know, ruined me instead of ruined the British government, and I'm paraphrasing it. So next is Vinny from Atlantis. I don't really know how to explain Hear Me Out. It's just his design. It's his outfit, his demeanor, his attitude, and his humor. He has that like really ugly haircut, but I don't even care. I love Vinny so much. I've like cosplayed Vinny at like 2 conventions in a row at my school, so review bra. I've been watching a lot of his videos, and you know, again, he's so dapper and he's very elegant and well spoken, but I also love his humor and his sarcasm. I did this one here where he has like the long hair, because I like his more like natural look, but it's just him in the middle of doing his hair. I just think he's so charming. I just love watching his food reviews whenever they drop. This is on here because he's just like obscure and he's from a terrible movie, but it's the Nutcracker from Dougal. Now, Dougal is a very infamous animated movie that I'm kind of obsessed with. What caught my eye is this Nutcracker character, and it's Soldier Sam. That's his name. He's literally just a background character for a henchman, but you know, every time he's on screen, my eyes will dart to Soldier Sam. Maybe I'll like review Dougal one point on this channel, because apparently the dog is actually named after Charles de Gaulle, so that's why they're together. Wilhelm II. He's the second to last one, actually. Yeah, he's a Hear Me Out. He just crashes out. He's got a terrible personality, but look at his jawline and his mustache. That is Aura, and he's gonna be far away from... It's kind of criminal to put Albert of Belgium on this list, and also de Gaulle, and also Leclerc, and also Eisenhower, and also like MacArthur, and also Eden, and also like anyone else who fought in World War I, like Montgomery, technically Walt Disney. So we're gonna put him here. Last one is Young Mungdal. Do I... Like, okay, you're like Seagull, of course. Of course this is your type. Like, he's really funny. It's just humor is a thing for me, and also like nice hair and facial hair too, as you could expect. So that's my Hear Me Out cake. This is probably like the most basic one. Oh, I like how there's like the top here, but I, you know, tried my best. You know, I didn't want to, you know, put stuff on for the sake of being like crazy, but I also didn't want to hide all my weird ones as well. Yes, I know they're like almost all people, and also if JJ McCullough finds this, or Salmonella, I'm sorry, I don't really know how to explain, and of course de Gaulle is the centerpiece. So anyway, I hope you enjoy yourself on this fine day. I'll be uploading this video. I'll be going to like a nice French restaurant in my city, and I'll be pretending de Gaulle is with me. I do want to say thank you for watching this video, and I hope you aren't too upset about my choices, and I'll see you.